Alrighty, good afternoon, soccer fans, and welcome here to Stag Field for today's NCAA quarterfinal matchup between your University of Chicago Maroons. They are hosting the Gustavus Adolphus Gusties. The Maroons, at the end of the season when the rankings kind of ended before the NCAA tournament, ranked second, and then Gustavus ranked fifth. So a top five matchup, and what the winner will be advancing to the NCAA Final Four. The semifinal and final round will be in Salem, Virginia, the first weekend in December, as the competition will take a week off or a weekend off for Thanksgiving. But first things first, we've got ourselves an unbelievable match in what should be super high-played soccer from both sides here between the Gusties and the Maroons. We'll get you the starting lineups kind of as the game gets going, and we are just about set to go here. Pretty good crowd here at Stag Field. It's definitely a cold one. We'll try to get you a game time temp, but it is definitely better than yesterday. Yesterday's temperatures were really cool, so it's 31 degrees officially here for game time. Definitely a little bit of wind, but nothing that should really affect the play too much, and no snow and sun. So I think both teams will take that as opposed to yesterday. They played in some blustery and also kind of sleet, snow type of conditions for a good majority of the game. So both teams will have a clear day. Man, it's not maybe ideal, but you wouldn't trade it for anything, having the opportunity here today in the next 90 minutes or more to advance to the national championships, which, as I mentioned, are in Salem, Virginia. So we're just about set for the opening tap here between the Maroons and Gustavus Adolphus. It's Lyndon Hu to take the opening tap, and we are underway. Long ball played immediately by the Maroons, looking up there for Yedishevsky. That's Walsh able to connect. Walsh trying to win the ball, and it looks like Gustavus will play it out of bounds. So an opportunity for Jack Luker on the throw. Quick throw here from Luker. Shot coming from Cabani. It is blocked away by the Gustavus defense momentarily. See if Gustavus can win that. They do. Possessing the back end, but good pressing up top by Kai Walsh, as the Gusties will have a throw here on the near side. Starting lineup for the Gusties, it is Sanders in net, Hecht, Anderson, Robles, Just, Cadel, Baldwin with it. Out there with him is, of course, Wada and Gillespie anchoring the back line. Jack Luker back there as well. Alex Gomez also in the back. In the midfield, in those two holding positions, you'll see Naz Kabani and Lyndon Hu. Robbie Pino kind of playing up top on the right wing, but he will kind of slot into a cam role. Of course, the target man up top is Ryan Yedishevsky, and on that left wing is the dynamic Kai Walsh. And so that'll round out the starting 11. Of course, don't want to forget Will Boys in net for University of Chicago. So early on here in the first 2 minutes, Maroons controlling some possession, trying to create some opportunities. Both teams have kind of shown a flair for the dramatic. University of Chicago scored 10 goals in its 3 NCAA championships or NCAA tournament matches. None of them have come in the first half. So we'll see if the Maroons can get on the score sheet in the first 45 minutes. But even if they don't, I think a lot of confidence from head coach Julian Sitch's group, knowing that they have been able to respond, whether it's just been a little bit of lack of opportunities in the first half or even going down by a goal, as the Maroons trailed St. Thomas at the half yesterday and were able to put in 4 in the second half to take what was a pretty nervy game at moments and kind of make it relatively pedestrian as the Maroons kind of cruised through those last 30 minutes after a flurry of goals in the early parts of the second half. It's Cabani on the run. He beats the defender. Cabani looking for options. He's got Walsh if he wants him. Walsh on the right foot shot, and it is just wide. I don't think Sanders got a piece of it, but that is great build-up play there from Kai, or to Kai Walsh from Cabani. The shot was just wide, but early, a great start for the Maroons as they are on the front foot. That'll be something to track today, as the Maroons not only played earlier, but only had to play 90 minutes yesterday, where Gustavus had to play 110 minutes and went into penalty kicks. So the legs should be a little fresher for the Maroons, more time to recover, and just less burn on the body. So we will see if that plays a factor today. That would be something to look for really as the match progresses into the second half or even late on in the first half. Really after that 30-minute mark in each half is when the legs really start to play a factor. It's Linden who, at the midfield stripe, he tries to save it, tried kind of a cheeky back heel there, did not connect, and this is the first time we've seen Gustavus on the run. Nice break up there by Walsh. Wada's going to have to be on top of it, and he is, and the Maroons look to move it out. That was Pino and Who pinging it there, a little two-man game. Luker is here to release the pressure, and it looks like a perfect ball pinged out to the left wing-back position, and it's Luker on it. Luker playing in Walsh. He's got good pace. He's got time and space down there on the right wing. Tries to make a 1-2 move, and it's actually a nice play made there by Jack Knight in the back end for Gustavus. Baldwin now on the wing, a long shot, testing Sanders, and he is up to it. Never going to beat the keeper with that, but again, more opportunities for University of Chicago here early on. Long ball played up top, headed away by Gillespie, and it's going to come down right towards Kabani. Nice one touch there with the outside of the boot, and it's Yadashevsky in the hold-up play, nearly able to keep it, but a nice job there by Who to track in. Who playing a ball in and almost was able to find Pino, but Sanders comes out just in time. So early on, we haven't really seen this so far from University of Chicago, but certainly the Maroons coming out of the locker room here, this time in the first half, on the front foot. It's Yadashevsky looking for Walsh, and it's out of play, and there'll be an opportunity for a throw. We did see University of Chicago score in a match last weekend on a long throw opportunity by Jack Luker. It's actually going to be a free kick for Who. We're a little bit shielded by the Gustavus bench. So Who actually scored from a similar position here, really on the other side of the field, or he was able to connect with Yadashevsky, who headed one home. So expect to see a bending ball into the box. It's a good one towards the back post. Can Chicago get ahead on it? And the answer is no. Actually, maybe the Maroons did get ahead on it, but weren't able to track it towards the net, and it'll be a goal kick for Gustavus. Actually going to see an early substitution here from Gustavus right away. It's going to be Nate Rowd into the match, and out is number 6, Carlos Robles. So maybe Tudor Flintham saw something tactically that he did not like, as that is a quick change from Robles. You don't usually see substitutions only 6 minutes into the match, but the Maroons are really on the front foot. The press is on fire. Kabani ends up with Pino. Pino tries to backheel one towards Yadashevsky on a give and go. Not quite there, but all Gustavus can do is clear it out of play. On the far side, that's Alex Gomas, who will throw it in. Gomas, a freshman from Atlanta, really had to be inserted into the lineup and relied on as Nathan Moonsing, a more experienced player, has been down with a knock, and Gomas has been simply excellent out there for the Maroons. Walsh trying to break it up into the midfield. It's good play there by the Gusties. Going to be advantage played by the referee, and now back for a free kick. That is Otis Anderson, listed as a defender, but he will get up into the attack, and he does a nice job drawing the foul there. If that foul happens a little later on after you've made a few mistakes or whatever you want to call it, maybe that would have gone for a card. It was a hard foul, but ultimately it's still early, and the referee just trying to kind of keep the lid on the game for now. Headed up high into the air. That's Anderson in the box, bounding down, and a good job there by University of Chicago to clear it away. The Maroons just elected. That one was kind of bounding weirdly towards the top of the sixth, and instead of trying to play out of their own end, the Maroons just elected really to Here comes a corner kick in, headed in towards the box. So University of Chicago not exactly playing those high balls into the box extremely well. Now the Gusties on the front foot. Good cut back there. Defensive play made for a moment by Kabani, but it was taken back from Kabani. Still bouncing around in there. clearing it eventually as it's Boys that comes up with it. But again, a little bit of shaky play in the box for the Maroons here early. Long ball towards Walsh. Settled down, and it's a little bit nervy there, and it was almost into the back of the net. I'm not exactly sure what that was number 24, Tego Kelly, was doing, but he kind of was trying to shelter it to the keeper, and the keeper never came for it. He played a hard ball towards Sanders. Give him credit for even getting a foot on it. Boy, that was nearly a disaster for Gustavus here early, but they avoided a huge issue. That ball out of play, trying to clear some of the window here to be able to get a better view. For you all. Obviously fogging up a bit in here. That is at the midfield stripe, now into the attacking end. It's Naz Kabani. He's got Walsh on the wing. Walsh pulls a dance move, right-footed shot, and it's right to Sanders. So that's what you can see from Walsh. He's great in those little spaces. Able to just kind of make that one decision, get it on the right foot and make a play. And now he's trying to do the same thing here on the press. Again, Gusties are struggling to get it out of their own end. It's Kabani. He takes it away. Kabani down the wing. In a little bit of a battle there with Hecht, who eventually wins it. But it'll be a throw for Luker. We will see now. This is about the spot where the Maroons could queue up for the long throw, and looks like maybe that tactic will be employed. Yes, it will be. Luker waiting. Going to look for one of those big bodies in the box. Gustavus does have a good amount of height in there as well, but this one, last time, it's looking for Griffin Wada on the front post, who was able to flick one of the back post, and Naz Kabani was right there to head it in. Again, looking for Wada. He can't win it. It comes down to Luker. He heads it back towards the top of the 18, and it's cleared away. Chasing it down is Catalin, but Who doing a nice job shielding him, and it'll be a throw for Gustavus. Chicago on the run again after a breakup there. Cross into the middle, and Yedishevsky was there, but again, Gustavus just in time to make the stop. Pass there, but again, the boys are on fire, buzzing there. It's a foul on Walsh, but again, that's going to be something to track here. Gustavus has actually had some success getting forward, especially in that final third, but that's something to monitor for the rest of the game. Can the Gusties play out of what has been an extremely effective press from the Maroons? As you can see, the long ball employed there to try to clear the pressure. That's Anderson. Like I said, listed as a defender, but kind of playing more in a holding midfield role. That's on the far side now with Gustavus, and they'll look to enjoy a little bit of possession here. Again, Chicago is all over the passing as that one was broken up by Pino. Nice ball into Yedishevsky. Yedishevsky has an opportunity there to make a move, and he will draw a foul. So you've seen the Maroons very much looking to attack in transition. It's a quick kick from Wada, but the referee going to call it back, and now we will probably see an attempt either into the box. It's a little too far to have a hit, so it'll be into the box. Opportunities or players queuing up around the ball is, so we've got Wada into the box as well, and it's going to be Kabani to take the kick. Kabani playing a chip ball towards the back post. It's bounding around in there. Nobody really knows to get it. Pino to Wada, one touch. Still bouncing around, and Walsh will come away with it on the far wing. Walsh again wins it, and it will be a throw for Gustavus. So it looked like Walsh let it go out of bounds, but it was a gusty throw on the far side. Throw in there. It was Wada winning it for a moment. Pino couldn't keep it. Now that's Gillespie to step up, does a nice job not only winning the ball but finding a teammate. Walsh, a little bit of a misconnection there. It's back with Walsh. Walsh with a much better ball this time. Yadashevsky playing in Luker down the wing. He's got Yadashevsky in front if he wants him. And last-ditch defending on the back line there from Hecht for Gustavus to stop another Maroon opportunity. Long throw into the top of the box. Quickly moving are the Maroons. Back with who? That was Cabani that the throw came down to. Gillespie playing a wide ball for Gomas. He's going to have to chase it down and does. Gomas, right-footed ball into the box. It is a great one. Header there for Cabani, and he just could not head it down and into the net. That ball from Gomas is perfect, though. It's amazing that you have a defender that can play a ball in like that. Perfectly weighted towards the head of Cabani, and the Maroons continue to knock. Asking a lot of questions of this Gustavus defense. So far, it's held up. But if you are Coach Flintham and the Gusties, you've got to start to limit some of these opportunities for you, Chicago. Just too many chances in the box here early on. Pino looking for Yadashevsky. Cannot find it. And a long ball played out there by Gustavus. Comes a throw in here. The Maroons again looking to move forward. Pino on the turn. Pino still with it. Lost it for a moment. Back towards the Gusties. And communication there. It's between Gomas and Wada. And Wada expertly takes that. And now Boys looks to move it out. That was not the best kick out there by Boys. He was kind of saved that Anderson wasn't able to track it down. Now it's Wada who will look to reset. Pino looking up towards Yadashevsky. That one was picked out there by the Gusties. Yadashevsky with a pretty good win, but that will be a push in the back. Good show of sportsmanship there by both guys with a little high five. It was a close play, but definitely a foul there on Yadashevsky. And now Gustavus will be able to move it forward from the midfield stripe. Back up top, it's Gustavus just kind of trying to possess in its back end, look for a channel to play it in. There was the opportunity there. It was cut out by who for a moment. Opportunity now for the Gusties. It's blocked away there by Wada and played out. And I believe that's Tanner Baldwin on the far side, just kind of surveying and looking to get the ball forward. Ball took a weird carom, but eventually bounces down to the Gusties. This is better possession now from Gustavus. Could be in, but Boys off his line to make the play. Quickly moving out of its own end is Chicago, so we haven't seen a whole lot of high pressing by the Gusties. I think they're content to let Chicago possess and then just kind of sit back. That is going to be a foul. And probably in a spot on a free kick where if Chicago elects to, they could go long with it. And it looks like the Maroons will do so as it's Lyndon Hu standing over it. Again, Hu was able to kind of curl a whipping ball to the back post that Yadashevsky headed in. And again, Chicago trying to go quick and the referee having none of it. Love the idea there as that was going to be Wada in. But now it's Hu, and he will definitely swing one into the box. Got about 6 Maroons inside there. It's a good ball. Keeper is right on top of it to Sanders. That one just did not have enough whip on it to trick Sanders. And the only guy in there that can use his hands comes out and grabs it. Just over 15 minutes gone. No score here. 2 shots on goal for the Maroons and probably 4 good attacking chances. The Gusties had their share of opportunities, but have not registered a shot on target yet. It's actually a nice block there by Wada on what was Gustavus's best opportunity there about 5 minutes ago. Luker on the left finds Walsh. Walsh with the man on his back, lost his balance a bit and couldn't keep it. Still trying to win it back, and it comes down to Pino. Good run there by Hu. Now Gomas will have time to survey. Plays another nicely flighted ball into the box. Comes down to Pino. Pino could have one if he wants it on the left foot, and it just did not dip or move. And it's right at Sanders. The Maroons queuing up here and continuing to buzz. Foul there from Chicago. Chicago doing a nice job even when it has committed some fouls, making sure that they're well away from the goal. And to be honest, fouls are okay. This isn't basketball. You don't have a limit on them. You want to be careful that they're not too hard. That's a great ball from Walsh to find Pino on the outside. What a nicely flighted ball there by Walsh with the outside of the boot. Pino looking to come into the box. It's deflected, and it'll be a corner for the Maroons. So again, we've seen some great individual play and link-up play really in the midfield and up top from UChicago. Boys continue to knock on the door. Luker, the lefty, trotting over to the far side corner, slowly but surely, as he will take this kick with just about 26 minutes left in the first half. Luker stands over it, gives the ready signal, lefty ball. It's towards the goal, and it almost went in. That was nearly an Olympico from Luker. It was curling in, and I do not think Sanders had a bead on it. And it really swung maybe, 2 feet outside of the back post and went out of play. But Luker nearly with a worldie there. And Olympico is described as scoring directly off the corner. The corner taker, Luker, nearly had one there in the side netting. It's Walsh and Luker trying to win the ball. Gustavus just plays it forward, knowing Luker was back. Excellently done there by Wada, and now Boys can give it a boot. Boys sent that one high into the air. It's one there on the second ball by Gustavus. That's Anderson in the midfield. Nice break up there by Cabani. Great ball there. Gomas handles it beautifully. Gomas, a freshman, but he looks like a veteran player back there handling that one. The Gusties had a guy on the back post, and he would have been in. Cabani now plays Gillespie. Gillespie has Luker in acres of space down the left field or down the left side. Left side, Luker into the middle towards Yadashevsky. Won't be able to get there. Can Baldwin chase it down on the far side? Yes, he can. Baldwin going to maybe try to play one back in or towards the near post. He will not, and it's Lyndon Who. He tried to turn there. Boy, that is a little shaky, but probably not going to get it in a match like this. Who definitely had won the ball there, but tried a little spin move, and no call inside the box as the Gusties were able to clear the danger and now will throw on the far side. Gusties now move it here. That is number 24, O'Kelly. And now down the wing, Gustavus with some possession. Into the corner. It is excellent defending there by Gillespie, who just turns it away, and the Gusties will get a throw. So Gillespie, normally a center back, way out of position there towards the corner flag, but again, with an excellent defensive play to keep Gustavus away. Gustavus, in a way, similar to UChicago and not something that the Maroons see often. A pretty big team, so these balls into the box where they can be won with a head are definitely opportunities for the Gusties. Yadashevsky trying to sneak it as Luker cleared that. Yadashevsky was trying to sneak around the corner. It's a nice break up there by Luker. It is Wada doing a nice job to move it out. Yadashevsky couldn't get a boot on it, but Gustavus is going to have to play it all the way back into their own end, and I think Chicago will take that nonetheless. See what Sanders does with it. Sanders going to play it up the middle. Now we'll see if the Maroon press can get home. Walsh electing to stay back a bit. Luker was on the press. And that's kind of the area that Gustavus is looking to play the ball in behind, is when Luker, the wingback, comes up. They're trying to beat one of the All-American center backs, and so far that hasn't happened as Gillespie and Wada have been up to the task. Nice play there. It's Pino down the wing. I don't think he'll be able to win it. It's actually a great defensive play by the Gusties on the far side. Not only did Pino not win it, but the Gustie defender came away with it and was able to find a teammate. That one's played out of bounds by Gomas, showing a little physicality over there. And it'll be a throw from just about midfield for Gustavus. Gustie defense has certainly settled a bit here after those first 10 minutes. And we've gotten a little bit more of a back and forth possession match, which is what we expected in a matchup between the nation's two top 5 teams. That's who going to be called for the foul there. Smart tactical foul, as who was beat and decided to take the man with him as opposed to allowing Gustavus an attacking opportunity, and now Chicago will have the opportunity to get its defense behind the ball. Headed high there by Gomas, great win, another good win there by Gillespie, and it is an offsides call anyway, so the Maroons will be able to move it out. No score here. Although there have been a lot of offensive opportunities created here early, both of these teams kind of pride themselves on their defense and are pretty good along the back line. I think we can expect a relatively low-scoring one here today. And really, any goal is going to be huge for whatever team can get it. Baldwin trying to link up there after that pass by Pino was intercepted or broken up. It's Baldwin now on the near side, way out of position, but still fighting for it. Doing a nice job there to keep the pressure on. And now looks like the Gusties are looking to move it, but Catalan kind of got bossed off the ball there by Gillespie. Now more opportunities. It's Gomas making a striding run into the box, and it's a penalty. That is a nailed-on pen, and it's Alex Gomas. Boy, I hope he is not hurt. That would be huge for Chicago, but he draws the pen, and the Maroons now have a golden opportunity here with 20 minutes to go. Hopefully Gomas is able to get up and okay. But again, I mean, Moonsing was an excellent defender, but we didn't really see a whole lot of that from Moonsing. Gomas is not only good in the back, but he is super comfortable getting forward, showing speed. We've seen it all NCAA tournament, and he is now rewarded for that after he's tackled hard in the box, and it'll be a penalty kick opportunity for Lyndon Who walking slowly towards the spot. It's Wesley Sanders who will try to get the ball by and put University of Chicago ahead. Referee making sure everybody's in the right position. Lyndon Who is backed up for it. Who queuing up. The right-footed shot, and it's in! So Lyndon Who puts the Maroons on the board via the penalty spot, and University of Chicago takes a huge 1-0 lead here with 20-23 left. And Who goes to celebrate with his teammates, and I'm sure he'll find Gomas at some point, who was the one who drew that penalty opportunity. Lyndon Who, cool as you like, sends the goalie the wrong way and slots it into the bottom left corner. So now Chicago knocking again. 20 minutes left. That's definitely a foul there on Luker. And we'll see now what the Gustie strategy is. Not sure if they will be a little bit frustrated. But so far, seen a lot of good things out of the Maroons. It's going to be called back for a foul here. It's Naz Kabani on the near side. Chicago in no particular hurry, although the clock is now stopped. As Lyndon Hu got the Maroons on the board. Yep, please bear with us as far as the picture is concerned. We'll try to do something at halftime to improve it. Unfortunately, we're out in the elements, so it's kind of the best we can do for now. Going to have to just kind of imagine a bit, but I think you've got at least a decent look at it. It's Kabani into the box. Oh, Yadashevsky was there on the near post, but it was just a little too heavy and over his head. Long ball up towards Gustavus, and now they'll try to play out down the wing, but Gillespie saw that one the whole way, stared it down, almost like a cornerback, baiting him to make that pass, and then he jumps it, and not a whole lot getting through on Gillespie Island there as he makes the play. Far side, and it's out of play, so it'll be a throw for Gustavus. For the Gusties, that is the spot where they've had some opportunities and something that we'll need to track. It's Rivaldo in there on the right wing. Doesn't get much better for a soccer name than Rivaldo. And he is now trying to get himself in, but University of Chicago winning the ball in the back end. Now maybe a little out of position. The Maroons are going to have to get back. That out ball there to Rivaldo for a moment, but Otis Anderson thought better and will have to play it back. That one turned away. It's Hu looking for Walsh. He thought he had it, trying to get forward, and it's played out of play by Gustavus, and it'll be a throw for the Maroons. Alex Lee queuing up. Another guy who's extremely effective in the press. I think Kai Walsh's shift is done for now. And Kai did an excellent job pressing up top. And now it'll be Alex Lee to get into the fold. Lee scored twice yesterday. Most of them were relatively team goals. That's off the head of Wada, and it's the sure-handed boys to come out and make the play. That's Baldwin in the right wing-back position, playing forward. Does a nice job to now go back with it. Maroons have found a lot of success attacking down the left wing with Jack Luker. Kind of as has happened all season, Luker has a lot of speed over there. And now a nice job there. That's Martin in the match who dropped into the midfield, kind of creating some space for Baldwin. Baldwin now found Martin back towards Gillespie. Chicago just has to be sure with it in the back end. Boys. Now on to the far side. I believe that's Kabani. So a very interesting formation that we're seeing here out of the Maroons. I believe that's Naz Kabani in the back end. So Kabani, I think Gomez had to come off, and Kabani playing defense now. So Chicago showing the versatility. Nice job by Alex Lee to kind of drop into that false nine role and win the ball there in the hold-up play. Hard ball there by Luker. It was going to be tough to handle for Yadashevsky. He's able to get a foot on it, but not able to settle it. Luker gambling a bit. We'll have to make sure to get back. Yadashevsky does a nice job getting a foot in. Down the wing towards Rivaldo. Rivaldo with it. It wasn't perfect, but a nice job by Catalin to clear the pressure. Anderson linked up there with Gilliand. Now back and forward again, just not quite the ball. It's Naz Kabani, plays it high into the air, and Gillespie cleared the danger. That's now Luker playing one up top. We know Yadashevsky is a bit of a poacher, and he'll go for it. And again, we have seen it's just a little shaky back there in the communication between Knight and the keeper, Sanders. Sanders actually saved one that O'Kelly played back to him late, and Knight struggled with that as well. So if you're Chicago, usually you want to pass out of the back, but honestly, playing the ball up high is not the worst idea. That's almost a link up there between Yadashevsky and Pino. As Lyndon Hu played a nice ball in. Now here cutting up the middle is Gustavus, but the Gusties just unable to connect some of those passes in the midfield. Gusties have definitely shown they have speed and can get forward It's just a matter of connecting those passes really in the midfield. Once they get into the final third, they've created some decent opportunities, but it's through the midfield that Chicago has really been dominating the possession in this match. 15 minutes to go here in the first half. And if you're the Maroons, I mean, obviously, you'd love another. But if you can get this to 1-0 at halftime, you'd feel really good about things, especially the way your team's played in the second half. And now you've got Naz Kabani out there as well playing defense, so maybe a little bit more intelligence and game management used here by the Maroons. Not sure how comfortable Kabani is out there, but I'm sure able to do the job as a senior leader. It's Lyndon Hu. And wow, a long ball played there by Wada, and that thing is on his foot. And a link up there between Luker and Lee. Lee's got 2 on him. Still shielding the ball really well. Alex Lee almost able to keep it in play, but it's really nicely done there by Alex Lee. Throw in towards Hu. Hu looking for Lee. Lee back to Luker. And Luker tried to play it through Lee, but it was knocked away. 13 minutes to go here in the first half. Throw in towards Yadashevsky. Luker into the back. And now it is Wada looking for Baldwin. It was just a little too much on it, but Wada's shown not only can he pass it out of the back, but he's got pretty good ability in picking players out on those long balls. Ticking down towards 10 left here in the first half. That was nearly a handball there. Ball played in towards the back, and Tanner Baldwin right on top of it. Nice defending there, and a good decision to play it to Boys, who's got time. Boys, if he wanted it, could have played that ball towards Luker, and he's going to. That swinging ball into that open space. Alex Lee's going to win it. What a touch there by Lee. Luker down to Hu. Great movement there from the Maroons. Wada now looking for Kabani. Kabani finds Baldwin. So what Kabani might lack as far as being a physical defender, and I'm not sure that he really does lack much, but if he does lack anything, he can make up for it with his skill on the ball. He's normally playing in the midfield, facilitating the offense. So we know that Kabani is comfortable with the ball at his feet, and you see it here. A luxury to be able to insert a guy like Kabani into the back here after the injury to Gomas. Luker, honestly, a decent ball, weighted high. Yeah, the Gusties had to play it and try to play out. Gillespie steps in front. What a win there by Gillespie. Not the best final ball, but Gillespie again gambles and is rewarded. Now it is Gustavus trying to play out of their own end. We've seen struggles there, and again, it is a struggle as Luker steps up and takes the ball away. Lyndon Hu smartly controlling possession, plays it back. Now Wada up towards midfield surveying. Long ball to the wing towards Lee. Lee wins it with a head. It comes down. Luker on that second ball, able to get a foot in. It's Ryan Shea now. In there to spell Yadashevsky. Shea with it on the left foot into the middle. It is repelled by Gustavus. Nice job there on the body fake by Martin. And he plays it back to Kabani. Kabani tried something a little aggressive there down the wing, and it's broken up. Now Gustavus with a chance to move it forward. But Gillespie wins the header in the back end. Ball just kind of bounding there, and now it's Kabani with it. Again, here on the left foot, Kabani showing his confidence, not just booting it away, but playing it smartly to a teammate. Luker down the wing towards Shea. Shea trying to win the ball. But again, that's another good play in the back made by Jared Hecht. He's kind of been the saving grace for the Gusties. He's had several breakups down the wing. If not, University of Chicago would have created more chances here in the first half. Nice breakup there by Cabani. He now gets into the rush. Baldwin playing long. And I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but not a whole lot going there as Sanders throws it away. I think University of Chicago is even fine with giving the ball back to Gustavus in its own end, knowing that the pressure from its front line and really midfielders has been simply excellent. So you see the Maroons are playing the same shape, that 5 back, but just with Cabani in the back line along with Wada and Gillespie. So for Cabani, who doesn't play a whole lot back there, nice to join a back line that's got 2 All-Americans in it and 2 veteran leaders like himself. Luker, again, has shown really well here in the first half. Lee able to break up that clearance. Now it's Shea. Shea trying to get on it. Martin, a swing and a miss there on the breakup. And now Gustavus with an opportunity, plays it in, but that ball's way too heavy. And Will Boys will pick it up. Boys taking his sweet time back there with now less than 9 minutes left here in the first half. University of Chicago with a 1-goal lead thanks to a penalty kick from Lyndon Hu, of which Alex Gomas drew. Unfortunately for Gomas, he was worse for wear after that and had to come out of the match. That is a bad turnover there from the Gusties. Possessing there, Hu. Outlet ball is Martin. Martin didn't have much, but plays Pino. Nice job there by Hu to win it. Hu continuing to win it. Saucing and bossing the mid is Lyndon Hu. Nice play in there by Wada. Is Shea on sides? Yes, he is. And again, the Gusties just play it out. So Gomas is standing here on the sidelines and trying to move with his legs a bit. So, I mean, I do see him. He's definitely not, totally not an option in the second half. Of course, when you come out in a half like he did, he can't go back in for the next 7:45. But you could completely see him in there in the second half. We'll just have to wait and see. So far, it's Cabani, and he's been great. Good speed down the wing, and that looked like it was deflected. Nope, just played out of play, or just goes out of play. And it will be a goal kick for Gustavus. Substitutions here for the Gusties. Catalin and Anderson, that's kind of their 2 big guys coming off, and neither of them really have been very effective here in the first half, looking a bit frustrated as they haven't been able to get much going forward. Well, if you're Gustavus, granted, you have 6:50 to score here in the first half, but I think you'd be happy getting into the halftime break down 1-0, considering the way Chicago has controlled the match. Wada, a little too much. That was Cam Bloy out there as well for Chicago. That's kind of a weird play. Ends up coming in, and it's Will Boys off his line to make the play once again. You can see that with the limited opportunities, Gustavus is going to have an inch-perfect pass to get itself in. And so far hasn't been able to find it. Gillespie playing forward. Nice job to settle it there. Boy, that's a little bit of a sketchy play in the back there by Hecht, but he shows some composure. And it's a turnover once again in the midfield. The Maroon defense just seems to know where the ball is going before it goes there. And that's definitely something that Gustavus will have to chat about at halftime and maybe make some adjustments. That's Baldwin. That's a bad turnover on the far side. Chicago has to get back now, but again, passes misconnection. Opportunity for a long ball to Lee. That was Shea trying to get in behind. Now it's Cabani finding Hu could play back to Cabani if he wants. Instead, we'll take Wada, and Wada plays the out ball towards Lee. Lee faked like he was going to come back for it. Now has it down at his feet. We'll see if he can take him for a run down the wing decides better. Who, good body control, turns, plays the ball in towards the back post. I think he might be offsides, but Shea able to come down with it. And I believe he was not offsides. It's just going to be a goal kick for Gustavus. Less than 5 minutes left here. Big spot in the match for both teams. And that is a nicely played there by the Chicago defense after what was a good run there from Mason Gilliand. He won the throw here on the near side. Gilliand throws it back to Hecht. Hecht plays one up high in the air, a long ball, and Cabani easily cuts that out. Martin trying to win it and take it upfield. Martin does just that. Swarmed by the Gustavus defense. And now the Maroons will have to get back. Just 4:24 left here in the first half. So far, all Maroons. That's Rivaldo with the ball at his feet. Playing to the far side. Now back here on the near side, 4 minutes left. You can see the opportunities or the tactics of Gustavus. He's trying to sink a long ball in. Maroons playing a pretty high line. So just trying to sink that long ball in and have somebody get in behind. Good cross made there, but Will Boys up like a wide receiver, maybe shades of Justin Jefferson there to go up and snag that one away. It's Cabani. He's got a lot of time and space. Gustavus was kind of just waiting for him to make the pass. Didn't even really have to do that. But again, the Gusties win possession and give it back. 3:30 left here for Chicago. I think some possession and just maybe a little bit less of a sweat here to end the first half would be good enough. But Wada with a bad giveaway there in the back end. So now the Gusties, if they're able to regain possession and get something going forward, may have the last opportunity here in the half. It's Lyndon Hu winning it away in the midfield. That's Martin. Martin smartly plays it down the wing, and it's misplayed there, and that is Shea. Shea looking for Lee. It comes down to Alex. Alex with the outside of a foot flick tried to just possess it. It took a weird hop, but it's now Lyndon Hu finds Luker. Hu has an option in Lee down the wing, stays in bounds, good 1-2 play. Hu looking for something towards the top of the box, could not connect. Now Gillespie tracking that high ball so well, and Luker wins the second header. Luker gets in there again to win a header. Jack Luker with the left-footed ball down to Lee. Lee trying to bring it down, and nobody there as he nearly was able to bring it to the turf. Just 2:20 left here in the first half. Nice step in there by Luker. Again, for Chicago, just focusing on some defense here to end the first half. That's a throw now for the Maroons. No shots on goal so far for Gustavus. 4 on net for the Maroons, including the penalty kick goal from Lyndon Hu that got us to the 1-0 advantage. At Shea, using the body well, winning it in the midfield. That's David Martin. Chicago fine with the ball pinging and bouncing around here for the last minute 30. Gomas definitely warming up on the sideline, so we may see him in the second half. I think the Maroons would rather that, get Gomas back in the back and have Cabani in the midfield, although Nas has done a nice job back there. Mina and Gobia is in now. That's a push in the back from Shea, and this is a perfect opportunity now for Chicago. Take their sweet time, let the clock run down, although the referee's going to stop it. He's had a quick trigger on that, huh? Although maybe he's going to give out a card, which is why he's stopping it. Does not look like he will give out a card. So interesting that this clock was asked to be stopped there. Usually don't see that very often unless it's a card. So 1:12 left. Chicago has a great opportunity to score here, but also needs to make sure that Gustavus on a clear and a counter is unable to do much with it. That's Hu towards the back post. There's bodies back there. It's headed down, and it's definitely headed by Gustavus. And wow, that is going to be a corner kick. I believe the middle referee is going to overrule.
1 minute remaining.
Great refereeing by the head ref, knowing that the line judge down the far end doesn't have a great look at it and ruled it as a goal kick. Now, because the clock is running, Luker can take his time, whip one into the box, and this will probably be the last significant play of the first half. The ball will definitely be wind whipping in towards the goal. Luker, high ball to the back post, headed back towards goal by Shea, kicked away, but kind of spatched out of bounds. Maroons have now 28 seconds, so this will be the final play of the first half. Linden Hu on a bit of a hustle, down towards the near side corner. 15 seconds remaining. Lindinho, as they call him, right-footed towards the front post, and nobody home. Headed high by the Gusties, and the time will run out here in the first half. So we will head to the halftime break with the score. University of Chicago 1 and Gustavus 0. You're watching Chicago men's soccer here from Chicago Athletics. All righty, welcome the defender. Cabani looking for options. He's got Walsh if he wants him. Walsh on the right foot shot, and it is just wide. I don't up play, nearly able to keep it, but a nice job there by Who to track in. Who playing a ball in and almost was able to find P. He's going to have to chase it down and does. Gomas, right-footed ball into the box. It is a great one. Header there for Cabani, and he just could not for a moment. Opportunity now for the Gusties. It's blocked away there by Wada and played out, and I believe that's Tanner Baldwin on the far side. This is better possession now from Gustavus. Could be in, but boys, off his line to make the play. Another nicely flighted ball into the box. Comes down to Pino. Pino could have one if he wants it on the left foot, and it just did not dip. Luker stands over it. Gives the ready signal. Lefty ball. It's towards the goal, and it almost went in. That one kind of got bossed off the ball there by Gillespie. Now more opportunities. It's Gomas making a striding run into the box, and it's a penalty. Queuing up. The right-footed shot, and it's in! Boys in net. On the other side, it's O'Kelly, Glissendorf, Knight, Weah, Johnson, Rivaldo, Catalin, Just, Anderson, Hecht, and Sanders in goal. We are just about set here to bring you the second half. 8 shots compared to 1 for Gustavus, 4 on net, and none for the Gusties in the comparison between the Maroons and Gustavus. So a quick long ball right away towards Gomas, trying to test him early. He heads it down. Pino looking for Baldwin, and it's out of play. Gustavus wins possession. Throw in here for the Gusties. Headed down by Wada towards the top. We'll see what Gustavus does to try to make some changes tactically. So far, haven't seen a whole lot, but we'll see how the match progresses. Expect, especially with the lead. Gomas does a nice job of running up in and getting that ball to Walsh on the wing. Walsh now in a lot of space. Will elect to play back to Gomas, who finds Luker. That's actually Cabani on the far side. That was a ball in, but repelled there by Gustavus, who will now pass it back and try to play out. Long balls only that we've seen from the Gusties today, as playing out of the back has just been to Chicago's advantage. Who wins it once, was nearly able to win it again, but Gustavus able to get the ball and now will possess in its own end. Things starting to tick up a bit here in the early stages of the second half. That's now Walsh with it in the midfield. He's looking for Luker on the far side. Perfectly there as that one's weighted towards Luker. Now it's Gillespie back to Wada, who will survey and play near side to Gomas. Gomas, Baldwin, now back to Wada. Wada, content to possess the ball in the back end, and if I'm Chicago, I would do the same. Going to have to stretch that Gusty back line or top line a little bit, and able to do that there as Luker was played in. Luker looking for a long ball to the far side of the field, nearly found its way through. Didn't for a moment, but it's taken away. Now it's Pino. Pino looking for Yadashevsky on the run. He's there. Sanders was going to come out, but it was a bit too heavy, and it's shielded to the byline by Hecht. So good start here from both teams, really. Both sides look kind of up for it here to begin the second half, and knowing that, like I said, the next goal will really change the match in a significant way. That's a foul there on Yadashevsky. Not anything too malicious, but it was Jack Knight drawing the foul, and now the Gusties will be able to play out of their own end. Long ball, headed high. Anderson. Now it's Walsh. Walsh wins that, showing good body control. Walsh isn't really the strongest player on the pitch, but he was going neck and neck there with the Gustavus defender, but a foul called. So now the Gusties will have a chance here on a free kick, and it does look like Gustavus is going to try to swing one into the box. Again, just trying to create more opportunities. Got a lot of big guys down there. This will be a task to do for the Chicago defense. Long ball. Boys thought about coming out for it. Didn't. It was won by Wada. Headed down towards Gustavus. Trying to keep it are the Gusties, but nowhere to really go there on the far side, as Gustavus had to pass it back and will now play the wing back in. Cross. Easily broken up there by Gillespie. Gillespie finds Walsh in some space. Maroons would be good to kind of clear their lines, but instead it's Walsh, and he last touches it out of bounds, so a throw for Gustavus. So a little bit of high pressing action from the Gusties, and it's been pretty good here, at least that time when the Maroons had the ball in their back end, and we didn't really see a whole lot of that in the first half. Had to play a long ball out as the press was on once again. Now attacking is Gustavus. High ball. That's way up. Falls in the box, and no call. Fans asking for a PK, but fans will always ask for anything, but not a whole lot in that one. Boys with a long ball out. Pino was able to get the second ball. It's Walsh. He's got good speed. He should be able to get by. Oh, no. Wow. Nice play again by Hecht. Big-bodied Hecht didn't have the speed, but certainly had the physical ability to shove Walsh off the ball. Gomas with a good win. Thought he had the opportunity to play it around the corner, but he could not keep it at his feet. Throw in. Gustavus with some good link-up play. That's Anderson. Anderson has a guy on the back post if he wants him. Weah finds the man on the back post, chipped back into the box, and not a good decision there inside the box as nobody was home in the middle. Opportunity to shoot there for Gustavus, and I understand wanting to, looks like a chance here on the near side. Ball kept in play. Chicago defense kind of just scrambling around, but it's cleared away and perfectly to the feet of Yedishevsky. Yedishevsky trying to run with it, loses the ball for a moment, will regain possession, and that will go out of play. Looks like a opportunity here from the referee. I'm not sure. Just going to talk to Gomas briefly. And Gomas is going to need to come off. So Gomas could not keep going, and I think that's what the referee was indicating. He was down on the field, so referee called it back for an injury, and now Martin comes into the match, and now you'll see Cabani go back into the back line. So this worked for you, Chicago, in the first half. Gomas unable to continue, and that's tough for the Maroons. Was able to put in about 7 minutes, but that was about it. And now the referee did call the ball back, and I think there's just like a little bit of confusion here on what's going to happen on the drop ball. Catalan and Cabani does a nice job discussing it, and now it's Boys that the ball is played back to. Boys looking far side, it's Gillespie. Gillespie missed that one to Martin. Didn't look like he knew exactly where he was going on it. Good pressure there from the Maroons as Gustavus has to play it back. Into the midfield. That's Johnson with it now. He's a guy who's had a very nice season. That ball inside. Rivaldo shot to the far post, and it is just wide. So that is the best attacking opportunity that Gustavus has had all match. And their fans trying to queue up and give the team some energy here in what is definitely a home field advantage for Chicago, but the fans are pretty split. Chicago could maybe use a little bit of fan support to kind of get things going here in the second half. It's definitely been Gustavus who's controlled the first 8 minutes. Long ball, out of play. The Chicago had 8 shots in the first half, 4 on net. Gustavus only had 1 and none on net. So definitely better here from the Gusties early on. Kind of a loss of possession there over there by Walsh. And it'll be a throw-in for Gustavus. Chicago, I think, just needs to get back to its defensive identity here as the ball's been bounding around a bit. Midfield, who putting a lot of pressure on and having to pass back is Gustavus. Up the middle, that one's easily cut out by Martin. Couldn't quite find a target. Now it's Yadishevsky as the ball kind of just dies in the air for Yadishevsky, who trying to get it down the wing. High foot there from Hecht. Hecht there, and he takes out the man, and now Hecht will have to be careful as a defender as that's an absolute sure-on yellow card. That's not the spot as a defender you want to be getting a yellow, as Hecht was nearly actually past his own midfield stripe. Now, as a center back and defender, maybe felt like him being beat was going to create an opportunity for Chicago, but that foul, now we'll have to watch how Hecht is able to play, as he's been very good back there, but he's going to have to be extra careful now on a yellow. That is the first card of the match. Gillespie going to put a boot into it. Decent ball into the open space. It's going to be a foul, I believe maybe offsides or a foul committed down there by Walsh. So the Gusties will play out. Playing out of their own end, and Baldwin takes it away. It's Walsh with one man to beat. Walsh around defenders. Opportunity now to get one off. And again, that Gusty back line is really just sinking in. They kind of put a wall up behind the defense. Bounces in. Hecht can't quite clear it, but now Gustavus will be on the break. Run here, that's Owen Johnson finding in space, but Gillespie is right there. So again, both teams actually had a transition opportunity. Neither were really able to connect, although the Gusties do have it on the far side by the corner. Into the middle, and I believe that is actually going to go off of Gustavus, and it will, and it'll be a throw for U Chicago to clear the danger. So you saw kind of how the punch-counterpunch works there, and that'll be something for Chicago to watch, especially in creating some opportunities going forward. You don't want to find yourself caught out, and they nearly did there. Martin couldn't find his target. Ball up the middle, and it's Baldwin. Baldwin has Pino in space, and the Maroons have a 4-on-3 if they go quick. Pino's got a wide-open man on the back post. Walsh settles, but it's a little too much. And he chests it into the keeper, and now we'll see if Gustavus tries to capitalize. They do, but only as far as Martin, who breaks it up and will get a throw for the Maroons. So Walsh with just a little too heavy. I think he got a little excited knowing he was in on the back post. And that's an opportunity that goes awry for the Maroons. Walsh playing Gillespie. If nothing else, this starts to create a little bit more momentum for Chicago, who was kind of on its heels here in the opening part of the second half. Ball in towards Yadishevsky. Now it's Walsh. Walsh with a dance move. This is where he's really good in space. Ends up winning it and will now elect to possess. Luker being closed down. Maroon's going to try this side of the field. Now it's Cabani. He's surveying. He's got a chance to play a ball into the channel to Pino. Thought about it. It was broken up. And now it's Catalin. So Cabani, but that's Wada. Catalin with it on the right foot. It's deflected. And now it's Baldwin inside the box. He'll have to be careful there. Baldwin clears it out of play. So that's the one thing for Cabani to watch out is he is very used to being in the midfield where a pass like that may not really be an issue. It gets broken up and you're fine. But as a defender, you've got to be just a little bit more careful in the back end. Kai Walsh out. And now it's Alex Lee back into the match. So Walsh, that's kind of a quick hook for him. Throw in, headed high. Opportunity to play a high ball. Boys elects to let his defense do the job. Wada, and now it's Lee controlling, but only as far as just. Good defending on the wing. Now Baldwin actually got beat there for a moment, but Wada right on top of it. Plays a nice ball out towards Pino. Pino with some fancy footwork, but unable to keep it in bounds. So again, the Gustavus surge is coming. Like we said, the next goal changed the match a lot. That's Owen Johnson that had it. Now to Rivaldo. Near side. Try to use the far end, but instead we'll play it back. There's a long ball blocked by Pino. Can Yadashevsky get on the end of it? Hecht with some trouble, and he'll have to play it back. Boy, he doesn't look too comfortable back there. Good pressure there by Yadashevsky. Nice header there by Martin. One by Luker. Luker playing Yadashevsky down the wing. He's got an opportunity. Yadashevsky on the right foot. Now looking for an opportunity. Shot near side. And it's saved well by Sanders. So Yadashevsky tried to do it on his own. Went for the near post. And Sanders was up to the task. Good shot there by Yeti. Better save by Sanders. Not only a great save by Sanders to keep it out of the net, but he also caught it and got possession back for his team. Long ball. Looks like Gillespie needs to talk to Boys. That's a terrible header there by Gillespie. And Boys deserves a gold star for even being able to corral that. That was headed in between his legs by Gillespie. Uncharacteristic move there by the All-American. Again, a little bit of miscommunication, and maybe the wind playing a little bit more of a factor than we think here, as we saw something similar in this end really a couple times from Gustavus in the first half. That's Yadashevsky. Looked like a bit of an acting job there, but a foul called. No card there for Yadashevsky. Now the time will be stopped. Looks like maybe a talking to. Referee is keen on stopping the time. Yadashevsky will get a talking to along with Just. It's been a battle there between the CDM Just and the front man Yadashevsky. Queuing up for Gustavus, it's Krumenar and also number 22, Gilliand. So Krumenauer and Gillian queuing up for the Gusties, and they'll be able to get in on the next stoppage. So we're all done, and time back underway. A long ball into the box, and that one's easy for Boys to handle. Just maybe a little bit of lack of communication back there, but it does seem like the wind is really carrying the ball pretty significantly. And that's going to be something to watch for, especially with Gustavus going into the wind. It's Luker down the wing. He's now going to play onto the far side. That's Pino with it on the right foot. Now Luker, the lefty, plays Martin, looking for who. That one was a little sloppy, but it's going to go to Wada, and he's got Kabani in space. Kabani now here with an opportunity to play something. Good ball in there to who. Who plays it off the Gusty defender, and it's a throw for Chicago. We expected an excellent match, and we've certainly gotten that here thus far. Chicago clinging to a 1-0 lead, but feels like anybody's match. Yadashevsky tried to play a cheeky ball to the back post. Could not connect, but the Maroons continue to maintain possession. That was Martin trying to get in there on the back post. Lee finding Luker in a lot of space. Luker, and he has one from there. I think he was looking for a teammate, but elects to go towards goal. I think that was a cross and not a shot, but a good opportunity, and now Cam Bloy will come into the match, replacing Pino. Unfortunately for Luker, who was wide open in front of goal, but he did not see him and decided to go towards the back post to a couple of those heads. That cutback ball was on there for Luker, and you would think Linden would have been able to finish that, but there you go. As now it'll be a throw for Chicago on the far side. Nice ball from the back end, and seen a little bit more of Owen Johnson on the ball here in the second half, which is good for the Gusties. Header down to Alex Lee. Lee shielding off some defenders. Advantage played. It's Bloy. He's going to switch field. Nice inch-perfect ball played to Baldwin. Now the Maroons will have a chance to go forward. It's Kabani. Kabani can press the space, and he does. Finds Yadashevsky. He tried to chip a ball there on the run to Martin, but Martin was not on the same page with Yadashevsky. That's something you'll see Chicago do in warm-ups, that little chip ball into the channel, the 1-2 play. Yadashevsky putting pressure on the back. And now it's Hecht. Hecht with it on the right foot. Might be a turnover. Lee nearly was on top of it. Martin able to control, and now hopefully clear a little pressure. That's a little bit of a dangerous pass, but it's good to Wada. And now it's Kabani. Finding Lee. Lee looking for who? Nice touch there from Lee. Baldwin asking for an option, and he doesn't have one. And now the Gusties will be able to play out. .27 to go here in the second half. We said Chicago with that 1-0 lead thanks to a penalty kick from Linden Hu. Kai Walsh had a golden opportunity on the back post, but just wasn't able to quite get it down. Again, I think Chicago doing a good job of putting pressure on the Gusty defense. That's an area we'll have to watch, and we've seen the Maroons score a couple times from that in this NCAA tournament. The center backs for the Gusties do not look comfortable playing the ball, and there's a turnover. Yadashevsky's got a guy on his left if he wants him. Yadashevsky with a booming shot, but it's right at the keeper, Sanders. That is much better from the Maroons, not only putting some pressure on the Gusty defense, but keeping the pressure off of its own defense, which is even more important at this point. The more chances, it goes without saying, but the more chances you allow the other team to create, the more chance there is for them to put one in. So keeping the ball in the Gusty defensive end is exactly what Chicago wants. It's going to be a foul on the far side. But again, that's fine. The Maroons will definitely have their fair share of ticky-tack fouls. Far away from their net in trying to employ that press. Comes a good ball out there. Luker gambling, and not exactly the right decision, but it doesn't matter when you've got Gillespie back there to make up for it. Luker looking for Lee on the back post. That's an insane ball, and Lee gets hammered, and it's got to be a free kick. It's just outside the 18, luckily for Gustavus, but that's a clear goal-scoring opportunity, and I know probably the Chicago staff is begging a little bit, but it's nearly a red, but certainly a yellow there as Lee was in on the back post, had control of the ball, and was hammered, clattered into there by Glissendorf for Gustavus. So this is always a tough spot here for a free kick. Tough to be able to get it up over the wall and down in front of the keeper. We'll see if Chicago does go for an attempt on goal. You almost like to have it a little further out, but you've got to get it up over the wall and down into the mesh. The lefty Luker might have a better opportunity at it, but it looks like it's going to be Linden Hu to take it, although both are standing over it. The lefty Luker, you would think he'd go into the near post. Hu, but it's Luker, far post, and Sanders is there. Nice opportunity there. Good work there by the Maroons. And now Wada will just have to win that. Catalin clatters into him, but Wada does a nice job of just heading it away. So really, you got to give credit to the keeper Sanders there, because the lefty shot, I figured he would drag it to the near post. He went far post, and Sanders had a beat on it. High in the air, boys, able to come up and make the play. So that was kind of a much to do for nothing there from the Gusties. 20 minutes gone here in the second half. Chicago still just clinging to a 1-0 advantage. Kabani, long ball, is Yeti on? Not sure. Headed away. Gusties do a nice job of saving it there and winning it. That's Owen Johnson, but he gives it away to Martin. Martin, he then gives it away, but Yadashevsky wins it back. Baldwin now plays back to Kabani, makes a nice pass to Wada, and now Wada and Gillespie will have some time and space to quarterback from back there. Bloy, nice job in the mid. So for Chicago, the one thing you can say is there's a lot of players out on the field that are either in positions they may not be used to, or really just getting a more significant burn than they've gotten all season, and so far it's been okay. Martin has played some critical minutes and been good enough. You see Lee and Bloy and some of that depth for the Maroons being relied on here. Naz Kabani thinking about having a run from the back end into his normal midfield area. That's a good ball on the deck by Gillespie. Now it's Luker, left foot into the box, headed down. Lee able to get on it. Only for a moment, but it's going to come down to Baldwin. Baldwin wins it away. It's Lee, who didn't really have much to do with it, and turns it over. Long ball played in towards Catalin, and Boys should be able to shelter it and shepherd it to safety, and he does. Great win there on the 50-50 ball by Cam Bloy, and a foul call. Chicago didn't really need it, but nice win there by Cam Bloy in the midfield. So you've got some guys that you're now relying on that do have kind of that veteran experience, even though maybe they haven't had as much playing time this season, and they've certainly shown well. Cam Bloy, a senior, playing some significant minutes, and you've got Naz Kabani back there. You're asking him to do a job in the back end where normally he's kind of the, not just the holding mid, but he kind of varies in his holding position and likes to get forward. So this is different for Naz, but he has been good back there. Martin, Lee, Martin, Yadashevsky, Lee, great work there by the Maroon offense, but eventually it is broken up. Who in the midfield trying to win the ball again? It's Johnson. Got to watch out for him. He's a guy that was definitely circled as one of the players for Gustavus, and he's been really good here in the second half. Too much there, but he somehow comes away with it. That is number 8, Just. So it looked like it was a little too much, but he's able to make the play. That thing was headed weirdly. Nice job by Kabani to clear it away. It's Catalin. He's got a chance to have a hit. Now Johnson, near side, into the middle. Catalin. It's Rivaldo, and it's way up and over. So if you're Chicago, you're okay with that. The opportunity there, fine. Got to hit it on the half volley from the top of the 18. The Maroons will simply clap that up if that goes in. What you do not want to allow is anything easy for Gustavus, and in the beginning parts of this second half, things were coming pretty easy and often for the Gusties. Been a little bit more evened out here now in the last 10 minutes. Nice touch by Coach Tudor Flintham in his 5th season with the Gusties. Bloy able to settle that down, playing it into space. Boy, Bloy had an opportunity to play it way wide. That's where more space was. Couldn't do it. Wada just kind of battling the wind. Nice win there by the Maroons, and a good recognition there by Martin that he had some space to move it. Baldwin was all over him, but he plays back to Wada. Wada down the wing. It's Lee, and it'll be held up in the wind towards Lee, bounding around, and the Gusties play it off their own player, and it'll be a throw for U Chicago. Both sides starting to get a little restless here with less than 20 to go. The Maroons would love a second, but for now, this game is on razor's edge. Baldwin was found by Cabani, and now back to Gillespie. That one was a bit shaky from Wada, but doesn't matter when you've got somebody like Gillespie back there. He can handle anything, and he does just that. Luker probing into the space. Now it's Shea up top. Shea with a swarm of Gusty defenders, who now back to Martin. And you like to see this if you're the Maroons. Don't just get up there and rush, easy turnover, and then you get a counter. Let's try to build something up, as is happening here, into the box. Still an opportunity. It's Lee back there, and a shot on goal, and an amazing save made by Sanders to keep the Maroons lead at just one. That was an excellent link-up play in the box, really just tight space passing by the Chicago offense, and almost that critical second goal. Luker looking for Shea. Shea. And Hecht plays that out, but it's going to be played out by Gustavus, and Chicago will control. If the Maroons can really start to turn the screw and possess here for the next 7-8 minutes, then you start to get yourself to a point where you can see the finish line. Big spot here in the next 8 minutes for both teams. It's Martin playing in, I believe that was Shea, and it's cleared off of another Gusty, and it's going to be a corner for the Maroons. Corner kick coming. Again, Chicago just looking for that one more goal, but you'll take this too. This is running a lot of time off the clock. Near post, nobody really there. Cleared out to no one by Gustavus. We'll see if the Maroons try to whip one back in. It's who? He whips it back in far post, and it's a tough one to handle. And the keeper, Sanders, had to tip it over the bar. That was definitely on its way into the net somehow. Lyndon Hu just kind of played a flighted ball to the back post, and it just kind of tracked almost into the mesh. Good job by Sanders to be watching it all the way and tipping it over the crossbar. Again, Chicago will take this. Every corner takes about a minute-ish off the clock. Left-footed ball coming from Luker. Near post, he's got Baldwin if he wants him. Looks for it. Actually, it was Baldwin on the fake. He was a decoy there. It was looking for Gillespie to flick it on, but that one was repelled and will stay with the Maroon offense. It's Who looking for Luker. That ball was just not quite hard enough. Lee finding Luker. Now you see Gustavus is definitely committing more bodies to the ball. It's Bloy. Now Shea. Shea into the box to Lee. He's going to have to be careful. No hand in the back there. No foul. But again, that physical play is tough, and it's going to be a throw for the Maroons. So again, no particular hurry on the far side. Jack Luker will take the throw. Wouldn't be surprised to see it go into the box, although I think at this point you don't want to queue up Wada in there, so probably maybe just a throw for possession. Yep, and it's smartly a throw for possession. So this is what they talk about when you talk about the cliche or whatever you want to call it, killing the game. This is how you kill the game. You possess the ball, you keep the ball in the opponent's defensive end where they can't score. Nice break up there by Cabani, but it's out of bounds. and it'll be Gustavus' throw. So those 5 minutes or so, Gustavus did not have much in the way of possession. But now we'll see if they can win the next 5. Looks like that is going to be Krumenauer coming back in the game. Kicked out of play. Wada clears it off Catalin. And Wada seems like he took a knock there as well. The worst of it. Wada doing a nice job, if for nothing else. A little bit of time wasting. Now the clock will stop with 14:33 left. Referee will check on Wada. That throw-in will not count. Referee stopped the clock to check on Wada. Wada looked like he may have taken a little bit of a foot there from Catalin on the challenge, but again, even if he's not super hurt, tactically smart to take his time on it. That's a long ball. It's a little bit of trouble, but a nice foot there by Luker, and now Martin to play it on. Cambloy looking for who settles, tried to go outside with it. That's in there, but unable to connect is Catalin and Knight, and Boys again will take his time. You got Bloy and Boys playing two completely different positions, but certainly two integral parts of this Maroon team. Boys, super long ball, way over the halfway line, and that is Bloy with a nice little 1-2 there. Bloy with an excellent drag back. Kabani has an opportunity to find Lee. Lee in the tight spaces and working his way out of them. Kabani, far side, header, one there, only as far as Luker. Luker back in towards Shea. Shea's been found kind of behind the defender. It looks like he's trying to get into the back door, but really the Maroons need him to be active in the hold-up play, not worry about getting in, just need to worry about some possession. But possession there by Wada as he will boot it away. Both teams looking a little tired here as this one progresses, now with just 13 to go. Luker, nothing, and the gusty defender was falling there, and you can see how the tired legs, I mean, there's a lot of guys walking out on the field, and that's a rarity here. No walking from Lee. Lee presses the space, finds Shea, and I don't know if it's too early. It wasn't too early. It's going to be played out of bounds, but I think Shea had one thing in mind, take it to the corner and try to kill some clock. And it's Pino. Now back in for Bloy. Bloy with an excellent shift, and he will get some dap-ups from the coaching staff, and rightfully so, as Cam Bloy did his job. And now another substitution here with just 12 minutes to go. And again, more time ticking off the clock. Referee stopping the clock once again. He's had a good shout on the clock. I don't think anybody could be complaining about, well, anyone could complain, but shouldn't complain about the clock situation. The referee's been all over it this game, stopping it at times when it's needed, letting it run when needed as well. Nice pass there, and it's a foul. Actually, David Martin's going to draw a foul. So the sophomore from Memphis draws a foul, and again, this just allows more time to tick off. And if you're Chicago, there's only one thing to do with this one, and it's play a ball into the box. Again, just have to be very careful that the defense is sound and getting back, and you will see that. You're going to see Wada get in there because he's big, but you've got four Maroon defenders and Who back behind the ball for a potential counter. Who, towards the back post, shoving and pushing in there is Wada. Not a whole lot. Martin plays a high ball. It's Wada. He just needs to get out of there and get back. Lee tried to win it. He went down. That thing's played high. I think if Baldwin waits on it, it'll go out of play. And yes, it will. Tanner Baldwin, good shielding opportunity as we tick down towards 10 minutes left here in the match. That's a turnover there. Gusties thought they had a chance. Wada couldn't really clear it, but not much for Gustavus either. Kai Walsh back out there for the Maroons trying to finish off the match. Pino as well. Pino just in a lot of pushing and shoving, and boy, the foul's going to go on Gustavus, and that one seems a bit unfair. Clock running down, and that's what you like to see. Fans are asking for a clock stoppage. And on the far side, now there's 9:30 left, and I think Lee might have won that clean, but not that time, as now the ball's in the back end with the Gusties. 9 minutes to go. Figure maybe one more good opportunity for Gustavus, maybe. But so far for the Maroons, that was not a good header there by Martin, and that could be the opportunity now for Gustavus. Trying to possess, and that shot is scuffed on the ground there by Otis Anderson. And I think if you're UChicago, that's exactly what you want to see. If you are Tudor Flintham, you know you're down by 1 goal, but I think you've got to tell your guys to be a little bit more composed in the final third. Gustavus would like to probably control some possession up there and then play a ball into the box that they'd have an opportunity on. That one was really just an ambitious effort there from Otis Anderson and didn't trouble boys much. Less than 8:30 to go. Clock stoppage as it looks like Luker needs a shoe tie. Again, the referee has done an excellent job in this match. Some fans will probably not agree, but I think the match has been extremely well refereed. The time has been controlled excellently, and he's really kept a lid on the game. We saw yesterday, not really a fault of the referee, but there was a lot of chippiness and kind of the game got out of hand late against St. Thomas. That will not be happening here. Baldwin looking for Luker. Luker's got an opportunity to play Pino down the wing, and that is the ball. Just Hecht miscontrols it, and it comes down to Lee. Lee trying to just get it down on the turf. Lee goes down. I think he got kicked maybe in the face. I'm not sure, but he's down on the turf. Walsh pressing there. Ball into the midfield, and now Lee is still down. Played high. They're not going to blow the whistle for Lee as he is still down on the pitch, but now the clock will be stopped to attend to Lee, and it looked dangerous there. I saw a foot come up, and I don't know if it was in the face, but it certainly was up high, and I believe he was cleated there in some way. Nothing malicious in it by any means, but Lee is down on the field, so the teams will head to the bench and allow us for a quick stoppage, and we'll be back here with more action. The last 7:48 with the score, Chicago 1 and Gustavus nothing. Catalan. So Cabani, but that's Wada. Catalan with it on the right foot. It's deflected. All right, so Alex Lee is up to his feet and being helped off the field. Looks like he will be okay. We know he's had a couple issues with his chest, and it looks like that's what's bothering him right now. Just going to need him to get sat down and maybe catch his breath. I'm not sure if it was on fatigue, but it did look like the incident happened after contact with Lee. Long ball. It's Martin looking out, but honestly just playing it out of bounds, and that's not really the worst idea here with now 7:30 left in the match. It has the feeling that Gustavus will get one more good opportunity, and they will need to convert to extend the match. Into the box, and it's Will Boys. He should be able to come off his line and actually smartly will let it go out of bounds. And maybe wishes that those nets behind the goal weren't set up, so he could have taken a little more time to get the ball. But now, ticking down towards the 7-minute mark, and it looks like we want a new ball, as that one maybe went through the snow. Again, more gamesmanship by what is an extremely veteran group that's been here before and hopefully can close this one out, but certainly knows how to close out games. And again, the referee stopping the clock right away. He knows what goes on at the end of these games too, and he's having none of it. Header by Hecht. Down, and Wada nearly misplayed that. It's Kabani finding Who looking for Martin. He's got Yadashevsky in, and we'll see if Yadashevsky tries to take it to goal or not. Hecht is on a yellow, but he's double-teamed as Yadashevsky. He takes it back away, though, and it's Baldwin now. Baldwin finds Who on the turn, and he turns it over. Into the back end, Naz Kabani does a nice job to break it up to keep a counter going from Gustavus. Would imagine the Maroons are going to get everybody behind the ball now. 6.5 to go. Gillespie looking for Pino, couldn't win the header. High ball, it's Luker winning the ball against the bigger, gusty attacker. Comes down here to Johnson. Johnson into the box. Flicked on towards Catalan, and Boys lost his footing, but it went right to him, and he was able to survive. If that ball is anywhere near Catalan, Boys slipped coming out for it, and I think Catalan gets in there, and he knew it too, as there was a big sigh. So now for the Maroons, trying to play the long balls, but also trying to win back possession and kill some clock. Throw in, and it comes down to Luker. Luker with a little bit of a missed clearance there, and now Pino tracking back. You can see the Maroons getting everybody back into the box. Gustavus trying to play a ball in up to the top of the box. It's there with the Gusties. Not a whole lot of opportunities to hit it. Gillespie, nice play there by Kabani to clear it away. Near side, Gustie's got to play it in. It's Owen Johnson taking it to the byline. And it's Kabani again. Walsh out. And Yadashevsky, can he track it down? Hecht with a great step in. And now it's Walsh. Walsh with two men on him, and he draws a foul. So Walsh does an excellent job drawing a foul there to clear some of that pressure from Gustavus. But now with under 5 minutes left, the Maroons kind of just content to give the ball back. He wouldn't expect that, but now it'll be Pino. He tried to go to the corner. Hecht clears it out, and it's Catalan. So not great game management right now by U Chicago, but not burned for it as Catalan was easily bossed off the ball. Kabani looking for Pino. Pino wins it in towards Yadashevsky. Can he come down with possession? And no, he can't, but it's going to be a foul right there on the challenge from Pino, a push in the back. Less than 4 minutes to go for the Maroons. And the clock will be stopped now. With 3:50 left, and it's Lyndon Who with the ball. I personally would love to see Chicago take it to the corner because it's really cold and I'm still sweating this one out. But we will see what happens. 3:50 to go. 3 minutes and 50 seconds separate the University of Chicago Maroons from a return to the NCAA Championships in the Final Four in Salem, Virginia. Lyndon Hu standing over it. Referee has finally cleared out of there. I think the referee was trying to make sure that the line was in the right spot. But yeah, Robbie Pino maybe being told to get off the field because he was down and he has to come off if that's the case. And so it's Bloy to go back in. 3:50 to go. Lyndon Hu. Looks like now he was going to pretend like he's going to kick one into the box, but it looks like he's going to look to play it to a teammate, but instead we'll play it to Yadashevsky, and we'll see how long he can box somebody out down there. Yadashevsky, one fake move, two. Yadashevsky using the body well, but Gustavus gets it out pretty easily. Martin will win it, and Gillespie right on it to make the play. Martin did not make that easy for Gillespie, and again, down the wing, and I don't think Yadashevsky's offsides. No, he is not. And he'll play it over there again. We'll see if he can win it. Yadashevsky fakes like he's going to go towards the box. Now is in the corner with it. And ball out of play for Gustavus. Gustavus will need to control possession here. And also high ball, now once again kicked out. Opportunity here for Gustavus. Long throw for the Gusties. 2:30 left. Feels like it's starting to get down to it, and instead the Gusties will not go into the box. High ball played, deflected there by Yadashevsky. Chipped on into the box. Somebody's got to get it down to their foot from Gustavus if they want to try to get an opportunity. Who clears one out? Is it going to stay in play? No, it will not. 2:15 left in the match. Everybody seems like their legs are tired, and they're just trying to see this one out. That was Sam Just who had the throw in. Header won there by Walsh. It's Yadashevsky. He'll play Bloy into the corner. Now we'll see what Bloy can do shielding it over there. 1:54 left here. Bloy again in the corner, shielding it off with his life. And eventually out of play. Bloy didn't like the call, but now back deep in their own corner. Gustavus is going to have to try to play out. See if the Maroons can win a header. And I don't know if that was a legal throw. Actually, it's going to be a switch on the throw, and that's not what Gustavus needed. They just lost about 20 seconds there on whatever happened on the throw-in. High header, fine with the Maroons. 1:15 left. If Gustavus gets it forward, this will be the last opportunity of the game. Hecht, the defender, way up top, cleared out, and that thing is rolling slowly towards the Chicago Maroon bench. Less than a minute to go. Pino waiting to sub in, but he might not even get in. Throw in coming here for the Gusties. They got to go quick with 50 seconds left, and there's just not a whole lot of sense of urgency. Anderson loses it down to Walsh. It's Martin. He's going to find Bloy. Bloy just needs to find some space with it, and he does. He links up with Walsh. Walsh in on goal, and it's too heavy, and it's cleared away by Sanders. Only as far as Martin. That was Luker, actually. He finds Bloy. Bloy off of a gusty defender. 22 seconds remaining. Bloy with it in the corner. Is he going to draw a foul? No, nothing called. 17 seconds to go. Back into the corner the ball goes. 10 seconds remaining. Chicago just needs one stop, and it's Gillespie with 5 seconds to go. A high ball into the sky, and the Chicago Maroons, as the time runs out, are going to be advanced advancing to the Final Four with a 1-0 victory over Gustavus Adolphus in front of a raucous crowd here at Stag Field. So the Maroons sweat it out just as much as we were up here, but they get the job done in dramatic fashion in what was an excellently played match by both teams, but the Maroons come out on top and end it with a 1-0 victory. It was Lyndon who scored in the first half in the 24th minute, and Chicago was able to defend and see it out from there. That strong defense, those two All-Americans, Griffin Wada and the defender. Cabani looking for options. He's got Walsh if he wants him. Walsh the Maroons today. So some final stats before we get out of here. 13 shots, 9 on target for the Maroons, 4 shots, and just 1 on goal for the Gusties. Gusties deserve a lot of credit for not only how they played in this one, but Wesley Sanders made 8 saves in the match, which definitely kept Gustavus in it, although it was a well-played match by both teams. So thank you to all for tuning in. And like we said, the Chicago Maroons will advance to Salem, Virginia, and the Final Four, not this weekend, but next weekend, the first weekend in December. So for Darren Jurgen, we appreciate you all tuning in. And again, the final score, Chicago 1 and Gustavus 0. You've been watching Chicago Men's Soccer here from Chicago, Illinois.